What is up, everybody? So, coming to you today with another Shut the Fuck Up video. And this one is going to be on Devin Haney, the lightweight champion of the world. Oh, God. This guy annoys me to no end. You know, I don't doubt this kid's talent. I don't doubt it at all. But if you have not done anything yet, then shut up. Because this dude really, really annoys me. He goes out, somehow the WBC, which has become maybe the most corrupt of all the governing bodies, that's the green belt, allows him to become the interim champion last year after Lomachenko fought Luke Campbell and beat him. And instead of making Lomachenko vacate the belt, the WBC calls Lomachenko the franchise champion, which doesn't really mean anything until, of course, he gets into the unification bout with Teofimo Lopez, then all of a sudden it becomes the undisputed championship, and he's the champion again. But all the while, Devin Haney has gotten so many fucking breaks from the WBC, I can't believe it. First off, he's named champion emeritus because he gets injured and he can't defend his belt against Javier Fortuna. So he vacates, or he becomes champion emeritus, which basically means you can come back and fight for the title at any time. And that's supposed to be an earned honor right there. Like, a good example is Vitaly Klitschko was named champion emeritus. That was the first time I ever heard that term by the WBC. Was when Vitaly Klitschko gave up his belt back in, I want to say 2004, 2005, because he was supposed to fight Rahman in mandatory fights, and he kept getting hurt leading up to that fight, and he finally just said, hey, I'm getting hurt too much, I'm calling it quits. The WBC named him champion emeritus. Basically, he can come back and fight for the world title, move in front of a number one contender whenever he sees fit. Now, the thing was, though, is Klitschko he fought his ass off against Lennox Lewis, and then he won the title after Lewis didn't want to rematch him, and he was champion for a good, I think he made like 3 or 4 defenses, but he was dominating, you know, and he beat Corey Sanders, the guy that knocked out his little brother Vladimir, and then he dominated Danny Williams, who was the Mike Tyson conqueror at the time. So this dude was like on another level, and he was, you know, well known. This is like his second run as a world champion when that happened. So I understand the WBC calling him the emeritus. He had earned that distinction. Like, what the fuck did Devin Haney do to earn the emeritus distinction? He didn't do anything. He hasn't fought anybody or beaten anybody. And again, I'm not denying the guy's talent. The guy's talented as hell. He might end up being the next big thing. He might. But we won't know until he fights somebody decent. And he hasn't, I'm sorry, but he hasn't fought anybody. You know, so for me, I was just like, how the hell did he get this distinction? It didn't make any sense to me. So then, this guy goes out and Devin Haney, and you know, I'm expecting him. He's granted, So let's talk about the breaks that he continues to keep getting. So Luke Campbell and Javier Fortuna were supposed to fight for the vacant belt, and because of Corona, that didn't happen. That fight got scratched. So he recovered from his injury, and he asked the WBC to reinstate him as the world champion. And they do. So again, something he probably didn't deserve, but he was upgraded once again to full champion. And then they'd say, okay, well, you don't even have to make a mandatory next. We're going to let you have an optional defense while Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell fight it out for the interim belt, you know. And so I'm thinking, you know, let's fight somebody at least in the top 10, you know, somebody solid and decent. And I even would have been okay with the Gary Russell fight, you know. Not saying that's not his fault. I know Russell is difficult to work with, but Russell's also moving up 2 weight classes, and he's a name and a world champion currently. You know, he decides on Yuriorkis Gamboa, the dude that, you know, I mean, yeah, I didn't take anything from his performance except a lot of heart when he was on a bad heel or whatever his injury was against Gervonta Davis. But this dude, 38 years old, and lightweight, he was always small for a lightweight. So it was like, really? Like, you taking on a 39-year-old man now? You know, that's the dude you're fighting, which, you know, okay, I guess, but I don't know. I'm just not impressed with it. But for this dude to be calling out Teofimo Lopez now, for him to be saying this dude's afraid to fight me, that dude's afraid to fight me, it's like, kid, go beat somebody legit. You're a paper champion, or the new term, an email champion. You've done nothing. And that's not to say you won't do anything, but damn, shut the fuck up already. This kid talks and talks and talks. Online, social media, he is horrible. And I'm tired of his mouth. It's like, dude, until you fight somebody, shut up. You know, go knock out old man Gamboa, and then we're going to see how good you really are if the WBC holds up their mandatory and forces you to fight fucking, what's his name? The winner of Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. We're going to see how good you are. Or if Teofimo Lopez even gives you the time of day, which Teo doesn't have to. Teo went out and beat, you know, Lomachenko. He knocked out Richard Comey. Teo can fucking talk. You know, Haney cannot. Haney needs to shut the fuck up and just do what he needs to do until he gets into a fight. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about this paper champion and the way he was awarded a world title. He was basically handed a world title, and it's fucking sad. It really is. So for him to come out and say after the WBC last week was like, oh, well, you know, Lomachenko's really our champion, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's just the other champion has to make the mandatories. And then David Haney came out and said, oh, well, everybody knows who the real WBC. No, yeah, we do. It's Teofimo Lopez now. He beat Vasily Lomachenko. You got handed and gifted a world title. So shut the fuck up and work your way into real fights now that you already got handed a belt. You know, and that's it. So, sorry, it's just this dude's been annoying me for a while now because he hasn't fought anybody and all he does is run his mouth. So, you know, for me, you got to have had to put in some work in the ring in order to run your mouth like that. He hasn't done that. Teofimo Lopez runs his mouth. He has put in the fucking work to run his mouth. You know, Ryan Garcia, yeah, he talks a lot, but I don't see him talking shit like this guy does. Ryan just wants the best fighters. He's frustrated with his promoter, all that good stuff. That's what's going on with Ryan. He's fighting Luke Campbell next. You know, I can't complain about Ryan Garcia. He was going to fight Jorge Linares. That fight fell through. Now he's fighting Luke Campbell. Those are top 5 lightweights right there in the world. So, you know, shut the fuck up, Devin Haney. Go fight somebody, go beat somebody, and then I'll show you the respect you deserve, if you deserve it. But until then, I'm tired of hearing you. Shut your mouth. You know, be a paper champion until you can call yourself a real champion. And that's it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. True Boxing, been hit with the truth.